Hello everybody. We are going to do one of my personal favorite labs, and usually it's a student's favorite lab too, so I'm really excited about it. What we're going to do is you're going to work in groups of 3 and you're going to build a levee. Now hopefully you remember because we just took the notes on it, but a levee is something that's built up on the side of a river to increase the amount of water that river can hold. And so you are going to have a bin that looks like this, and your goal with your group is to build a levee going straight across it. So you want to build the levee kind of in the middle, and it needs to go up to at least this line here, because I'm going to get a large beaker. It's a beaker about this big, or I'm not going to get it because I'm not going to be there, but it's going to be a beaker about this big. And to test your levee, we're going to pour all of that water on one side of your bin to see if what you and your group built going down the middle can stop the flow of water to the other side. And you're going to have a couple materials that you can use for it. You also are going to be given $10. This is $10 of fake money, not real money. So you're going to have 10 fake dollars to purchase the materials that you want for the levee. So this is what the lab sheet looks like. Right here it has the list of the materials that you need as well as what the price is. You can only spend your $10. You cannot trade money. You cannot share money. You have your $10 and that's all that you get and all that you can spend. And you have to decide what materials do you want to purchase using that budget that you have. So in a little bit, when you get with your group, you'll look over those materials. Then notice over here, it says material 1, observation, material 2, observation. You get to test 2 materials. You don't get to test, you have to test 2 materials before you can buy anything. This is our test cup. So say you are like, I want to know how a sponge works. Then a sponge, I have a little half sponge you can use, and it will get put into the bottom of the cup. And Miss Flynn can pour a little bit of water on here, and there's a hole on the bottom of the cup right there if you can see it. And so they'll pour a little bit of water, and you can just watch and observe how the water passes through or over the sponge. So that would be one material. So the material 1 you tested would be, say, sponge, and observation would be whatever it was you saw. Say you want to test a popsicle stick, which is another option that we have. Then you can't really fit this in the cup, but by holding this over the bottom of the cup or breaking it and putting it down on the top, you can pour water and again test how it works. So your group will get to decide the 2 materials you want to test. I would suggest testing materials that you don't know how they will react. If, like, one material is a plastic bag. If you are pretty sure you know how a plastic bag is going to react, don't test it. But say you want to know the difference in a sponge versus cotton balls, because that's another one. Those are 2 good ones to test. So make your 2 observations. After you have done your 2 observations, there's a box for you to brainstorm. Basically, this is just as you and your group are discussing the materials you want to buy and the possible structure you want to build. You're just going to write down, jot down, draw, however you want to do it, some ideas of what you plan to do. On the back, once you have your final plan, write it or draw it. Put it here, though, whatever your final plan was. And then, only then, you can actually go buy your materials. So the materials that you can purchase. You have a cup of gravel. This is my measurement cup for gravel. So, and this, it's heavy, is the gravel. So, I know you can't really see that, but you'll get some gravel in a cup, and that's what you get. So we can pour that in your bin if you want it, if you bought it. You bought the gravel, that's yours. Okay. So that's one of the materials you can have. You can buy 5 cotton balls, which I did not bring up here, but you probably know what a cotton ball looks like. So 5 cotton balls. You can get 5 straws. I have some straws here. So you can purchase 5 of them. You can get 5 popsicle sticks, which I just showed you earlier. 1 foot of duct tape. So I've got duct tape. I just estimate about what a foot would look like. Sometimes comparing it to the gravel bin, but about a foot of that. And you can get 1 paper plate. This is what the paper plates look like. Okay, and you can cut this. If you buy a sponge or if you buy a paper plate or you buy whatever, you can cut them. If you've purchased it, it's yours. Now, you can't return it if you cut it. You can't return it if you mess it up, but if you've bought it, it's yours. So if you need to trim the plate down or stuff like that, you're welcome to. One plastic bag, which is just a sandwich bag like this. Okay, and then one sponge. And this is what the sponges look like. So, got the green side, got a little dent here, and that's your sponge. So those are all the materials. You have your $10. So as you purchase, you'll just hand over whatever money it cost. That way we can make sure that you've only spent your $10. But remember, before you buy, you have to do your 2 observations and your brainstorm. Move over what your final plan is. After the levee has been tested, there's just 3 questions basically about how your test went. So it's very, very simple. Make sure all 3 of your names are on the top for when you turn it in. And the last thing I wanted to point out about your bin, some of the bins have this dent going right here along the side of it. Some of them have a little dent thing that goes down and dips. Usually when people fail and they drown their city, they weren't thinking about the little dent that is in it. So if you get one of the bins that has a crease here or a crease that dips down, just observe that. Make sure that you are planning accordingly for that, because you don't want your city to drown like New Orleans did. So that is the goal. So keep your people safe, and I hope you enjoy the lab.